My foot on the gas like I'm tryna bust out the bottom. Watch out slide, a nigga get off like a potter. Catch me if you can, I'm a bad man. Live a double life like I'm Batman. My foot on the gas.
What is up, everyone? It's your boy Mike from Balls of Fury. Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about part 5 of the ball python care series, and this is handling your ball python. Before you start handling your ball python, I recommend that you at least give the snake about 7 days to adjust to its new environment and get used to its new cage. This is going to be important because wherever your snake was being kept before, whether you get it at a pet store or from a breeder, it was probably a much different setup than what you have offered to the snake. And so the snake is getting used to all those new smells, the new feelings in the cages, the new hiding spots, etc. So give the snake a little bit of time to adjust to its new environment before you actually start handling it. Another tip I'll give to you guys too is I typically, when I get a new snake, I will actually let the snake settle into its new enclosure for about a week. I'll offer it a meal. If the snake takes the meal, that means that the snake is actually comfortable in its new environment, and this gives me the green light to go ahead and start handling that snake later on in the week after it has digested properly and it's safe to go and handle the snake. So when you get ready to handle your ball python, always read the body language of your snake. Now, if the snake seems like it's in a defensive mood or it's in a feeding response, you could take like a roll of paper towel and break that response by just tapping the snake on the head very gently, and usually they will roll up into a ball. And once you have that situation under control and you recognize that your snake is not in defense mode or in feeding mode, just go ahead and pick the ball python right up out of its enclosure. Don't hesitate, just pick the snake up and handle the snake like I am. Now, you always want to support the body weight of your snake, and I'll show you guys what I do next, and we'll talk a little bit about positive interactions with your animal. Once I actually have my snake out of the enclosure, I'll actually come right on this couch and just chill out with the snake. I'll watch TV, I'll watch YouTube, whatever. This is something that I'll do when I'm first taming out my snakes. Now, this girl right here was a super defensive snake when I first got her. I got her when she was only a week old. She hadn't even taken her first meal yet. The seller who I bought her from trusted me enough to actually get her going on my own, which was great practice for when I have hatchlings in a few months to get them going on food and get them right. So this girl was good practice, but man, she was so defensive when I first got her, always striking at me, did not want anything to do with handling. So what we had to do was we had to build trust with this snake. And some of you out there, when you get a new ball python, it may be a little bit defensive, but this is something that will calm down as they get older and when you start to develop a bond of trust with the snake. Now, typically, we'll sit here and chill for maybe 10-15 minutes at the most. A lot of snakes or a lot of ball pythons tend to have different tolerances towards handling. I have some ball pythons that I could handle daily other than when they are feeding and digesting, obviously. And then I have certain ones that I can only handle maybe once or twice a week at the most, just because handling does stress them out. So you'll kind of have to learn this over time as you get used to your snake and you learn its behavior. Now, while we're chilling, I really don't want to make any sudden movements or any fast movements that are going to startle the snake. I just want to just chill out, enjoy the movie, enjoy YouTube, whatever I'm doing, while my snake just chills out and realizes that I'm not a threat to its life and I'm not going to hurt it. I'm not trying to eat it. And this is key to building trust with your animal. Now, positive interactions are things like this, where you're hanging out, having a good experience with the snake. There's no harm being done to the snake. You're not getting defensive strikes. The snake is just chilling out and it's in thinking mode. Also, other forms of positive interactions are like daily spot cleaning, changing the water, just interacting with your snake in positive ways to where it loses its fear of you, it begins to trust you, and it allows you to handle it with no problem. Ball pythons are very easy to handle, not too much for one person to handle whatsoever. Just don't ever grab the snake tight or squeeze it or make it feel threatened in any ways, because this is going to cause your snake to give you a defensive response and potentially bite you. So even if you do get bit, it's really not a big deal, guys. the bite of a baby ball python is nothing serious at all. Sometimes it doesn't even draw any blood, so it's really not a big deal at all. You barely even feel it, and it's not something that you should be tremendously afraid of. If you keep snakes long enough, it's going to happen eventually, and something that just comes with the territory. Now, I will say, guys, never handle your snake before or after feeding it. I typically say don't handle your snake at least a day before you plan to feed it, and don't handle your snake at least a day or two after feeding it so that it does not regurgitate. But other than that, guys, just learn your snake's tolerance for handling. Learn what, doesn't stress it out and actually is a good balance for you and your snake. Typically, I try to handle each snake in the collection at least twice a week. Some I handle more than others just because I know they can tolerate it and that I actually think that they enjoy it. So some guys get a little bit more attention than others, and some get a little bit less depending on their stress level. I have some that I really only can handle once a week because they are very shy and they don't really enjoy coming out and being handled. But this is pretty much how I tame my snakes out, guys. This is what I've had success with. And I'm telling you guys, this girl was like a crazy, crazy animal. And now she is super chill, super trusting of me. And that just comes over time. And this is something that you will master over time as you start to learn your snake's body language and its behavior. That pretty much wraps up the handling part of this series, and that pretty much wraps up the ball python care series, guys. This is pretty much all the things you're going to need to know and consider before you get a ball python. I hope this helps any of you guys who are thinking about getting a ball python, or you already have one but are still relatively new to keeping them and are still learning as you go. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like, please drop a comment, please smash the subscribe button. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great night. Peace.